So many of you have probably heard about this cooling off period that is going to come into effect next spring, I guess. That's 2022.
Right. Spring, yeah.
And essentially what it is just, even if you get an accepted offer that is subject free with deposit in hand, there's still a 7-day period that if you change your mind, you can get. There's still a 7-day period that if you change your mind, you can get out of the deal.
Out of the contract.
Yeah.
What it's designed for is to help people to not make poor decisions when they're buying real estate. That's the ultimate goal of it. I think there's been a lot of complaints about the amount of activity in the market and what people actually have to do to be successful.
Yeah.
And so the government is trying to implement this cooling off period to try and help with that.
But
what do we think about it? Well, I mean, the goal of it is great.
Yeah, 100%.
To help people, not make bad decisions, and I think that's a wonderful thing. Now, is it the government's role to do this? Well, that's up for debate. To be honest with you, the cooling off period is going to be very difficult to implement.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
And I think there will be ways around it so that ultimately, it won't actually happen. And if it does happen, just the repercussions of what that looks like. And it is unfortunate that sometimes people feel that they have to throw in a subject-free offer, not have a building inspection,
right,
and feel very rushed and then do have regrets.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately that's where our jobs come in. And I will say that, not to toot our own horns, but we would never let
yes. So exactly. And
our clients do that.
I think buyers need to put a little bit of responsibility on their decisions and not leave it up to the government to implement changes to save them, so to speak. Mm-hmm. We all know the rules of the game when you're writing an offer. Of course, you have to be the highest price, the least amount of conditions, and a deposit check in hand.
Yeah.
Now,
that doesn't mean that you can't do your due diligence beforehand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you're writing an offer without subject to inspection, you're crazy. Right? Basically, simple as that. You're spending $1 million or $2 million and you have no clue what you're actually buying. Well,
yeah. I will preface that with there are some situations where I feel
not very many. So
I feel like there's enough to read, or there's enough that you can sort of do to feel that you're taking a slight risk, but not too risky.
Still crazy.
Maybe a 1912 house.
Yes.
Not inspected, or a 1995 house. That's not
right.
inspected.
They all have different issues, but the point is that 99.9% of the time you should be given the opportunity to do these due diligence things like inspection, financing, all this stuff in advance of your offers. So that is putting a little bit of onus back on the buyers. And if someone is telling you that you shouldn't be doing things, or you should be doing things, such as not doing inspections or doing inspections, you might want to err on the side of caution and do your due diligence, essentially. So will this impact the market? Well, it could negatively impact it in a few ways, but it also could maybe positively impact it. But at the end of the day, time will tell. We'll see what happens next spring.
If you like what you're hearing,
subscribe, like, and share. Thanks.